Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome, dear devotees, for our morning Srimad Bhagavatam session. We are reading from Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are beginning from chapter number 12, new chapter today, birth of Emperor Parikshit. Parikshit Maharaj's birth will be described now. Let's begin with text number 1. Saunaka uvacha aswathamnopasтрастena brahma shishnoru tejasa uttaraya hato garbha isena jivita puna. Puja Mataji, yes, Jai Siya Ram Mataji, you want to read translation?
Hare Krishna, everyone. The sage Shanuka said, the womb of Uttara, mother of Maharaja Parikshit, was filed by a dreadful and invincible Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama. But Maharaja Parikshit was saved by the Supreme Lord. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you. So here, Saunaka Rishi is asking to Suta Goswami. So previous chapter we were discussing, we were in a Dwarka where the conversation was happening between the citizens of Dwarka and Krishna, the parents, mother and father of Krishna, the loving, affectionate exchanges. Then the wife of Krishna, son was embracing Krishna. So we were discussing the Dwarka pastime. Now, the whole incident was described by Suta Goswami to Saunaka Adi Rishis. All the sages, they were assembled in the Naimisharanya ashram, and this was being described. So we are stepping one step backwards, where the whole narration was happening. So now, Saunaka Rishi is asking to Suta Goswami, and the same thing was mentioned in the sixth chapter as well. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 was different things. But the same thing was mentioned in the sixth chapter. Describe the birth of Parikshit Maharaj. How did Parikshit Maharaj met Sukdev Goswami? How did this conversation take place? Describe his birth, describe his life. And it's like coming back on track. Little bit of digressing, but now they are coming back on track. We saw how Suta Goswami started this when Krishna was about to depart from Hastinapur after the war. Uttara came running, and Uttara prayed to save the womb, and Krishna entered the womb to save Parikshit Maharaj. Like little bit Sudha Goswami described. But then after that, the digression happens from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 chapter. 7th chapter, we saw how the son of Drona punished Daswathama. Then Draupadi wanted to forgive Bhima, Arjuna, they wanted to kill him. Then Yudhishthir Maharaj agrees to Draupadi's prayers that Draupadi is saying, I don't want the mother of Aswathama to go through the same pain what I am going through as a mother. So Draupadi is allowing to forgive. Then on the 8th chapter, the prayers of Queen Kunti, Kunti Marani, Vipada, Santusta, Saswat, Kunti Marani's prayers to Lord Sri Krishna we saw. In the 9th chapter, passing away of Bhishma Dev, where he was lying on the bed of arrows. Then on the 10th chapter, we saw Krishna is departing from Hastinapur. In the 11th chapter, we saw how Krishna is arriving in Dwarka. So little bit of digression happened, but now it's coming back to birth of Parikshit Maharaj. Okay? Let's see text number 2. Krishna Prabhu, you want to read Sanskrit and translation?
Hare Krishna. Yes, sure, Prabhu. Tasya janma mahabuddhe karmani cha mahatmanah nidhanam cha yata vashit sapretya gatavan yata. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. How was the great Emperor Parikshit, who was a highly intelligent and great devotee, born in that womb? How did his death take place, and what did he achieve after his death?
Thank you. So Saunaka Rishi, all the asking to Suta Goswami that he was very intelligent and a great devotee. How describe his birth from his womb and how did his death take place? What happened after that? So they are asking questions again about the devotee of the Lord, which is the Parikshit Maharaj. Now, this discussion is happening in the ashram where the sages are asking to Suta Goswami. We in our morning session we read half an hour, we understand the practical learning lessons, we see the purports as well. So sixth chapter we were at maybe 2 months back, so it has become 2 months, and now it may feel like after 2 months Sutta Goswami has digressed and getting back, but in reality at that time, there was no purpose, no explanation. And they just reciting Sanskrit slokas. The sages were very elevated personalities. They understand just by hearing the Sanskrit verses, the text, the lines from Sutta Goswami. They understand everything. But we are taking longer. So even though it may feel like after 2 months of 5 chapters, 6 chapter, they are coming back from the digression. In reality, in practical setting of our yatra to Naimisharanya, where Sutta Goswami is speaking and the sages are asking questions and question answer is happening, actual digression may have happened only for 15-20 minutes. See, Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses and the whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken in 45 minutes. Here, 5 chapters, each chapter has about 36, 39 verses, so 150 verses. So that means the actual digression, when Sutta Goswami is speaking about this pastime, 15 minutes he got little bit digressed, 15-20 minute ke liye, not more. And then he described all this Krishna's entrance to Dwarka, leaving Hastinapur, Kunti Maharani prayers, Bhishma Stuti, all these things. And then again the sages ask, and then again they start back. So only 15-20 minutes. Aisa nahi hai ki after 2-3 months it has happened. So remember the situation where this is being spoken in the Naimisharanya ashram. Okay? So at least we know where we are sitting, what's happening now. Text number 3. Tad idam shrotumichhamo gaditum yadi manyase bruhina shraddhadananam yasya gnanamadachukah. Bimal Prabhu, English translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna everybody. We all respectfully want to hear about him, Maharaj Parikshit, to whom Sukadeva Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge. Please speak on this matter. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So they are very specifically asking, please speak on this matter now. We want to respectfully hear about Maharaj Parikshit, and to whom Sukdev Goswami has imparted this knowledge. So please, very specifically, they are asking question and they want to hear more about it. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport writes importance about hearing, Shravanam and Kirtanam. Hearing is very important. Srila Prabhupada dedicates the full purport that how hearing is very important in the life of a devotee. They are asking questions, they wanted to hear more. Everything else in the path of bhakti can follow later if the hearing is done very nicely. Even Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America to his early disciples, all the American disciples, they had no idea about who Krishna is. One Srila Prabhupada asked in the whole lecture that how many of you have seen the picture of Krishna? No one raised hand. They don't even know who Krishna was. And the type of people what Prabhupada dealing with was, if you see his biography video in the YouTube and the Lilamrita book, like Prabhupada was offering arti to Krishna, and in the temple how they take arti for others, and people do like this. In those assemblies, in those days, we are talking 1970s in New York, between 1965 and 1970, the hippies and junkies in the New York Bowery. When Prabhupada used to offer the arti to Krishna and they take to the people used to light cigarettes from that arti. That kind of people, it has been transcribed, those kind of people. But Srila Prabhupada used to always, tell them, just hear. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about don't worry about all these things. Just hear. Just hear. And Prabhupada was speaking about Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and just by hearing, we see that how those people became, they were fully drug addict and like that. But those people became Brahmanas. Those people started taking bath 3 times a day, worshipping, following the full morning program. Many of them became temple presidents. Many of them became sannyasis and preaching all around the world. So we see that how hearing is very important. Parikshit Maharaj heard from Sukdev Goswami. Here, Saunaka Rishis, they are hearing from Suta Goswami. In the same way, we are also hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotee. We every morning we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from the purports of Srila Prabhupada. So we are hearing every morning from Srila Prabhupada. Same thing about the hearing, which was done by Parikshit Maharaj from Sukdev Goswami, Saunaka Adi Rishis from Suta Goswami, and we are also continuing that hearing from Srila Prabhupada. Every day morning we are discussing the purports. Some people, Prabhupada writes in the purport that some people meet some great spiritual person and they feel like महाराज ने मुझे टच कर दिया, मुझे एकदम से अलग से spiritual vibration आ गई. Some people outside our ISKCON also, they say, one great spiritual personality kept a hand on my head and I felt very enlightened. Prabhupada says, don't go into all these mysterious experiences. It is not required कि मुझे touch कर दिया, मेरे सर पे हाथ रख दिया. There was an aura or the light I visualized in the behind the head of a spiritual master. Prabhupada said, don't go into all this. All what is required for a success of a devotee is hearing from a great elevated personality. Bas, sirf sunna hai. And the process is very simple. Spiritual person speaks and we hear. The process is very simple, but only sincere person will be successful. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the last. The process is very simple, but only sincere person will achieve the result. Sirf sunna hai. Very beautiful importance of hearing. Shravanam and Kirtanam. Number 4, let's move. Number 4. Suta vacha apipala dharmaraja pitravad ranjayan praja nispruha sarva kamebhya Krishna padanu sevaya. Pankaj Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Suta Goswami.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Sri Suta Goswami said, Emperor Yudhishthira administered generously to everyone during his reign. He was exactly like his father. He had no personal ambition and was freed from all sorts of sense gratification because of his continuous service unto the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. So Suta Goswami starts responding. So previous 3 verses were spoken by Saunaka Rishi and all on behalf of all the sages in the ashram. Now Suta Goswami responds. Suta Goswami says, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he starts that how he was a great ruler. He was a Raj Rishi. He was a great king. All the citizens were very happy and he was ruling very generously. Srila Prabhupada, right in the second line of this purport, he writes that he is requesting to the ministers, to the leaders of all around the world. Prabhupada writes, we simply request the leading personalities of all nations. Look at this Prabhupada's vision. He is writing that leaders, prime ministers, the ministers, the politicians all around the world should take this message of Bhagavatam, Krishna consciousness process. And just like how Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling generously, very great king, everyone can do that. Only if the leaders can take up the science of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada doesn't say here that just have a blind belief or have faith in Krishna. Prabhupada writes, take up the science of Krishna. It's a very scientific process. इसमें कुछ अंधश्रद्धा नहीं है, इसमें कुछ blind belief, faith, nothing. It's a very scientific process. When a person takes up, one can realize that how beautifully the life can be led with very successful, peaceful, and happy. Prabhupada writes in the purport that the leaders of the society, they try to manage or solve many issues of the world. They are trying to solve many issues, but they are keeping Krishna aside. भगवान को साइड में रख के इकोनॉमिकल प्रॉब्लम, सोशल प्रॉब्लम, दिस प्रॉब्लम, एनवायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम, द लीडर्स आर ट्राइंग, but they are keeping Krishna aside. And that's why the attempt are being not successful. And there is a lot of chaos in the world, lot of war happening, lot of fighting, lot of disturbances in the life of people as well as in the country overall. But instead of that, Prabhupada says, if people just focus on developing Krishna consciousness, make people understand the science of Krishna, then everything will be fine. Prabhupada gives the analogy or the example. The leaders of the society, they are trying to water the each and every leaf, like they are trying to attend to the problem of social, economical, traffic problem, environmental problem. That means it's like a watering one by one different leaf. But if the leaders focus on watering the root, the whole tree will be nourished. The whole tree will be flourishing. Just what it needs is to be water the root. In the same way, leaders of the society needs to water the root, means to focus on developing Krishna consciousness, understanding the science of Krishna consciousness, and everything else will be fine. And that is what Prabhupada explains in the purport. Very beautiful. Anshul Prabhu, text number 5. Actually, you can do 5 and 6, Sanskrit and translation together. It's the same thing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, all devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhupada ki jai. Sampada kratvo loka mahishi bhatraro mahi jambu dvipanaditpatyam cha yashascha tridivam gatam. Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. News even reached the celestial planets about Maharaj Yudhishthir's worldly possessions, the sacrifices by which he would attain a better destination, his queen, his stalwart brothers, his extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, and his fame, etc. Verse number 6. Kim te kamaha surasparha mukundam manaso dvijaha adhijahru rajnah shudhitasya yathetare. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Brahmanas, the opulence of the king was so enchanting that the denizens of heaven aspired for it. But because he was absorbed in the service of the Lord, nothing could satisfy him except the Lord's service. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. So Yudhishthir Maharaj's glories is being mentioned in 5 and 6. He was such a great king that his fame, he was not only popular in this world, but to the higher planets as well, to the people of outside this world. That's how much glorious he was. And they were ready to welcome him to the other planets as well. That's how much glorious. Nicely, he was ruling the whole world. His parade was flawed. Just imagine, this, because he was ruling nicely, the demigods, the heavenly planets, they were all ready to welcome him. Here, we see, I was recently, somehow, in the video, it came of the Elon Musk, where he's doing his space research, spending millions and millions of dollars to send a spacecraft or some one person to the different planets, and he wants to set up a colonies there, but spending millions and millions. But here it is said, just by focusing on the science of Krishna, making everyone Krishna consciousness, following the Vedic civilization mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Yudhishthira Maharaj was so glorious that great personalities from heavenly planets and other celestial beings like Gandharvas, Apsaras, they were ready to welcome him. So here, imagine this millions of dollars being spent to go there. But if that millions and millions of dollars being spent to develop Krishna consciousness in this world, that's how the glories, they will welcome. Pushpa Viman, the demigods are coming they will start again the interactions which is lost now from the demigods were coming to this planet. People used to go in the Vimans, or everything was there. But because the human the conscious level is so degraded, it's not happening anymore. But if the leaders of the society, they become Krishna consciousness, and they help others to become Krishna consciousness, then this whole interaction between demigods, Gandharvas, Apsaras, different celestial flying, it can start again. Srila Prabhupada writes very beautiful point in the purport of 5 and 6, that everyone is hungry. People are dissatisfied. People always want something. Some people are looking for food, some people, or better food. Some people want shelter, paying off their home. Some people want defense, like protecting themselves. Some people are always hankering for sense gratification. Everyone is looking for something, hankering, being satisfied, food, shelter, defense, sense gratification. The whole world, the population of the whole world is always looking for something, always hankering. And in reality, Prabhupada writes, in reality, actually, everyone is looking for this connection with Krishna, spirituality. You know, kings or the ministers, they try to satisfy this hankering of other people in terms of housing solutions, in terms of sense gratification, all these different developments, in terms of defense, in terms of food, all this. But in reality, actually, everyone is hankering for that connection with Krishna. People don't know it, the leaders don't know it, the citizens don't know that. But if that connection with Krishna is established, if that love for Krishna, the science of Krishna, if this message is being spread all across the kingdom, all across the country, then people will be satisfied. And we see that, how the spiritual people, they are very satisfied. All the great spiritual personalities, they, if you see outside people, they are always running, going early morning, going to work, doing this, doing this. But spiritual persons, they are very satisfied, they are very calm, their mind is calm, their lifestyle is very spiritual. And in the same way, Prabhupada writes that even though everyone is hankering for other things, and people are running, the ministers are trying, the leaders are trying to provide that, but in reality, the actual fact is everyone wants Krishna, everyone is looking for Krishna, and that has to be sorted. All right, text number 7. Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Matur garbhagato vira satada bhrigunandana dadarsha purusham kanchid dayyamano astra tejasa. O son of Bhrigu, Saunaka, when the child Parikshit, the great fighter, was in the womb of his mother Uttara and was suffering from the burning heat of Brahmastra thrown by Ashwasthama, he could observe the Supreme Lord coming to him. Hare Krishna.
So now, see again, Anshul Prabhu was asking the other day, Saunaka, he said he's son of Bhrigu, so he's coming from the Bhrigu dynasty. So again, that Saunaka Rishi's address, as in the lineage of Bhrigu, is mentioned here. And Suta Goswami is responding here that the child Parikshit was in the womb was his mother Uttara, and we saw this, how Brahmastra was thrown by Ashwathama and Lord came to protect him. Prabhupada explains in the purport for this verse that a baby in the womb is confined in a very small space. Just imagine such a dark, where all the liquids, all the chemicals are there, liquids is there, very dark place, very small place, and baby is confined in that. And for up to 7 months, baby doesn't not have developed much consciousness. Prabhupada writes, uh, it's like a remaining in trance. The first line of this purport, Prabhupada writes, it's like remaining in trance for 7 months. And then after that, the baby gains consciousness. Baby starts realizing in the womb that I am in a terrible place. I am in a situation where it's very uncomfortable. And then baby wants to come out. So we see how baby turns the position and wants to come out. And that we know that how Srimanta or the samskaras is done at the 7th month, because at that time baby is gaining the consciousness. Here, when Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb, he has darshan of the Lord, because Krishna comes and protects Parikshit Maharaj in the womb. And Very nice. Next few verses, 8, 9, I think 10. Uh, how was Lord? How did Parikshit Maharaj looked at the Lord? How, what size he was? What was he dressing? All this darshan of Parikshit Maharaj of Lord Shri Krishna is very detailed described. This chapter is very beautiful. If you just read the translation, just like, because it's like a storyline, if you read the translation it will take only maybe 5 to 6 minutes, but you can complete the whole chapter by reading translation, and you can read the storyline. It's very beautiful how the Saunaka Rishi is asking questions, Suta Goswami replying, and then Parikshit Maharaj have the darshan of the Lord Shri Krishna in the womb. Very beautiful. So if you have 5 6 minutes, if you are not busy, try to read only the translation and you'll feel the connection of it. All right, let's we can do 8 and 9 together. Anyone want to try?
May I give it a go, Prabhuji?
हाँ जी, हाँ. आप 8 कर लो and then पूजा विठलानी माता जी can do 9.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Angushta matram amalam safurta purata molinam apivya darshanam shyamam tarid vasasam achutyam. Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He, the Lord, was only thumb high, but he was all transcendental. He had a very beautiful, blackish, infallible body, and he wore a dress of lightning yellow and a helmet of blazing gold. Thus, he was seen by the child. Hare Krishna.
So what's happening here? The description of the Lord. The Lord was only thumb high. Unka size, like a size of a thumb. Because where is Lord? Lord is in the womb. When Lord is, has to do different pastimes. Like Lord comes as Varaha avatar, Lord comes as Matsya avatar. Depending on the time, place, and circumstances, what form Lord does, it's based on that. So here it's Lord because it was time to save Parikshit Maharaj in the womb. So Lord was only thumb high. And he had very beautiful blackish infallible body. He wore the dress of a lightning yellow and the helmet of a blazing gold. And that's how he was seen by the child Parikshit. So very detailed description is given how Lord was. Yeah, Puja Mataji, next one.
Yes.
9.
Text 9. Hare Krishna. Srimadriga Chaturbahum Tapta Kanchana Kundalam Shatajaksham Gata Pani Matmanam Sarvatodisham Paribrahmantuku Paribrahman Manaptam Ulkabham Brahmayatnam Gadam Muhu.
Translation.
The Lord was enriched with 4 hands, earring of molten gold, and eyes blood red with fury. As he loitered about, his club constantly encircled him like a shooting star.
Yeah, more descriptions of the Lord in the womb is given. The Lord was enriched with 4 hands, earrings of molten gold, eyes with blood red fury. I have not seen if some devotee have painted this. Puja Mataji, see if you can find later. If you find by Prabhupada disciples or somewhere, if it has been painted. I don't remember seeing it, but it will be nice to meditate on the Lord in the womb in this particular, because very clear description is given. 4 hands, the golden lightning yellow dress, golden earrings, everything is nicely given, the size of the Lord. Okay, last one for today. The same thing, the description of the Lord in the womb. The last text number 10. Astra teja swagadaya niharam iva gopati vidamantam sannikase paryaikastaka iti asau. I will read the translation. The Lord was thus engaged in vanquishing the radiation of the Brahmastra, just as the sun evaporates a drop of dew. He was observed by the child who thought about who he was. So the Lord was thus engaged in vanquishing the radiation. The Brahmastra jo Ashwatthama ne choda tha, there was a Brahmastra radiation like a nuclear weapon, Prabhupada writes. So the radiation, Brahma, just as the sun evaporates a dew. how big is the sun and how tiny is the dew, and how hard is for the sun to evaporate a dew. And in the same way, if the analogy is given, the Lord was engaged in vanquishing the radiation of Brahmastra. And that's how Lord was, seen by the child in the womb. Okay, so we will stop at text number 10. And then we'll start from 11 tomorrow. Any questions? Couple of days back, we were discussing how the citizens of Dwarka did the beautiful preparation, nicely decoration to invite Lord Shri Krishna, and we discussed how we can invite, prepare for the devotees. We had a beautiful Damodar program at Puja Mataji's house, and I felt like in the morning we read about decoration in Dwarka, and in the evening I went to Dwarka again because such a beautiful decoration Puja Mataji did. All the same kind of candles and incense and flowers and decoration and festoon. Like I was relating everything, the eagerness, the happiness, joyfully welcoming the devotees, like all the slokas of Bhagavatam of welcoming was practically seen at your house. I have captured it. Maybe we can share on this Puja Mataji in this group, if the festive.
Yes.
And I was inspired to make a little video of it. So thank you so much. It was like practically visiting Dwarka while we were discussing.
Puja Mataji, please share those videos and photos. We would like to take the
Yes,
inspiration.
yes, Mataji, yes, for sure. Thank you, Prabhu, for your kind words.
So please don't anyone try that. The taking video in the womb of today's discussion. All right. Thank you.